Theodore. Theodore has decided to join us. Come say hi. Oh. Hi everyone. Today I'm doing a blog slash booktube tour review for The Lost Girls of Camp Forevermore by Kim Fu. Now please bear with me because for some reason words are not forming in my brain and I just can't articulate my feelings. But we're gonna try because that's kind of what I need to do for a review, right? So to start off with, I gave The Lost Girls of Camp Forevermore 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's a sort of YA adult crossover, which, thinking about it, is just new adult, but without the typical sort of steamy erotica that usually comes with new adult. So the premise of The Lost Girls of Camp Forevermore is there are 5 girls who all went to the same sort of summer camp and were put in a group to go on a kayaking trip, but something goes wrong and we then sort of follow their lives after this camping trip disaster and see how that one event changed their lives. I was kind of surprised because I sort of expected to have this event, or perhaps have the event be a mystery and then follow their lives and then figure it out, but it's sort of told alternating. So we start out at Camp Forevermore and get the sort of beginning of the story, and then we learn about one of the girls. So we follow her life, sort of like teenager up to adult, and then we go back to the camp and get a bit more of the story, and then we follow another girl. And the event that happens on the kayaking trip, it's not a major mystery, which I think is kind of why I didn't give it 5 stars in the end, because I would have liked it to have been more like what happened. We still, like, obviously we don't really know everything until the very end, but I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed this book, because usually multiple POV is not my thing, and whilst I enjoy character driven books, I do prefer to have an actual plot, and I think that's why I'm struggling to articulate my thoughts on this book, because there's not a plot for me to discuss, and obviously I don't want to talk about the characters because that's the point of the book, so it makes it kind of hard to do spoiler free reviews, and I'm making up excuses when we all know it's just because I never do reviews, so I just have no idea what to say. Kim Fu is an incredible writer. I definitely want to continue reading her work. The way she writes her characters is just, I just loved it. Like, usually you read multiple perspectives or different POVs and you're like, you kind of read the same, but like look at John Green, he literally writes different books that have the same characters. But every girl in this definitely felt like their own person, and it was really just interesting to see, you know, their lives. And I think what I really got from this was there's one girl in particular who, you know, something happens, the event happens, and you can really see how that has affected her. You can see the way that that has made her change. It shows you the person she has become now because of this. Whereas a lot of the girls, most of the girls, you don't really seem to notice anything. They don't seem to have any sort of lasting effects from the event. It's just something that happened to them, you know. So I think out of maybe the 5 girls, 2 of them have, like, you know, fucking seagulls, man. 2 of the girls, off the top of my head, have something that is like, yes, you know, you can tell like you've been through that and now you're like affected by it. And the other 2 girls are kind of just getting on with life. Obviously they still have their struggles, but they kind of get on with it. And then one of the girls, you only actually get her perspective at the time of the camp, and it's really annoying me now that I think about it, because she's probably the character that I would have loved to have seen moving on. And we do get a sort of like, oh, she went on to do this, but I'm like, no, I'm like, I want to be in her head, which is something that I never ever get with books. Like, I'm never like left longing to know what a certain character feels, because as I say, I prefer single perspective books. So the fact that this book left me like give me this other perspective is crazy. But yeah, I feel like I'm not doing it justice, because as I say, I can't really give you anything without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil it because I do think it's a really, really good book. And I think that if, like me, you know, you love YA and you're always going to want to read YA, but sometimes you just want something a little bit older that isn't as drab and dreary as the sort of adult literary fiction, this is where you want to go. I also really want other publishers to take note of this sort of YA adult crossover, because Kim Fu has said she's written it for adults, but she's really grateful that the YA community has taken it. And I do think, you know, on NetGalley this was marketed, it was like under genre, it was general adult fiction and teens YA, and I'm like, no, it's new adult. So I think this is going to be a book that kind of kickstarts the sort of revolution with new adult that it's kind of been grumbling. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but a lot of us are like, look, why does new adult just have to be about college kids having sex? Because this, I would say, kind of falls into a kind of new adult category, because like, yeah, okay, it does follow the characters when they're adults as well, but we see them growing. I would categorize this as new adult. New adult. But I can see, like, I want more books kind of like this. It's really annoying me that I can't articulate what exactly it is. It's like coming of age, but not coming of age. It's just how this one event shapes people, and it's kind of like a sort of study in human psychology, I guess, in a way. Like, that makes it sound really boring, but it's not. But because, you know, you see this event and unfold and you see how it's affected people. I think I'm confused by how much I like enjoyed it, because it's so different to anything I've picked up. I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna stop talking because it's gonna end up being 25 minutes of me just saying I liked it, but I can't explain things. So I want to say a huge thank you to Lucy from Legend Press. She approved my NetGalley request and then contacted me asking if I would do this review for her and for Kim Fu and just to share this book. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, because I adored this book, and I think it came to me at a time where I just needed it. I'm coming off of the BookTube games, having read a shitload of books at once, and I just kind of needed something to refresh and cleanse my palette. That's a good phrase for it. I would have probably not gotten to it at this point, like right this moment when I needed it, if it hadn't been for doing this review. So thank you. Apologies for my complete lack of coherent and eloquent thoughts. Usually that's a good sign. That's my excuse. I do tend to say that. Like, usually the books that I just love, I just can't formulate words for. If I could come out with a coherent review for a book, I probably hated it. That's just top tip for people during like wrap-ups and stuff. If I am talking like perfect sense, I probably hated the book. If I'm just like, it was really good, I just loved it too much to think about anything else. So with that said, I implore you guys to go and pick up The Lost Girls of Camp Forevermore by Kim Fu. It is out in the UK, and I believe it was already published in the States or Canada, maybe both, I don't know, but definitely check it out. I will link the Goodreads page for it below so you can like go check it out. And if you read it, let me know your thoughts, or if you have read it, let me know what you thought. And yeah, 4 stars, really glad I read this. I do have a feeling this is something that, like, you know when you get that feeling that a book's just gonna hold on to you, even though it's not like a 5-star read that I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever read. It's just something about it is clinging to me, and I need other people to read it and tell me if you get that as well. There we have it. I apologise for the mess of that review. I want to do more reviews. This is why I don't tend to do reviews, because I just... But it's a skill and we'll get better with time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!